Today, we've got a short and quick video showing off a product that I've been wanting to try, 3D1. It's a combination compound and polish and is pad dependent, similar to my usual go-to, Ultimate Compound. We'll be testing this on the front fender of my Tesla Model S using the Milwaukee 15mm dual action polisher with a Eurofiber buff and shine pad and then a Hex Logic polishing pad. Let's take a look at the surface we're working with today. This was after already clay barring the surface. We have some pretty nasty hard water spots left over and some light scratches. To start off with, shake up your bottle of product before applying 4 dime-sized drops to your polisher and then gently spread the polish around the surface before turning the polisher on and ramping up your speed. And for those wondering, I had already shaken up the bottle a good bit before I started the video. Typically you'll want to shake for, around a minute or two to make sure everything gets mixed up as well as possible. For the cutting step, we're going with medium pressure, letting the polisher do the work for us. We're working with slow, overlapping passes for the first couple of passes, moving about an inch per second on the initial pass. After we've gone over the surface with medium pressure, we're going to come back with lighter pressure and move a bit quicker across the panel. This helps with micro marring from most polishes and compounds as the lighter pressure causes them to cut less than they did in the first part of the buffing step. In an ideal polishing scenario, you'd cut a fender like this in 2 steps instead of doing the whole fender all at once. You'd normally spend time on the upper half of the fender, get it to the correction level that you're happy with, and then move on to the lower half. In my case, I decided to do it all in one step for ease of recording. Once we're done with the cutting step, let's go ahead and wipe off any excess compound. Now with 3D1, you don't actually have to remove the excess compound before putting the same product on a polishing pad and finishing up with a polishing pass. However, I wanted to see where we were at after the cutting step, so here we are. We can see that we still have some of the hard water spots up near the edge of the fender, and that's to be expected since you typically don't want to polish right up to the edge, and we still have some in the curved area of the fender, which in all honesty is just a skill issue on my part. Ignoring the orange peel in my fender, we can see that for minor scratches and the majority of the hard water spots, it did a wonderful job removing them. Getting the camera to focus is always a pain in these types of videos. I apologize. There is still a little bit of product left on the surface from my lackluster wiping that I did earlier, but that's on me. Moving on to the polishing step, we're using a white Hex Logic polishing pad. It's going to be essentially identical to the cutting step, just with a different pad. I will say that these foam pads are able to do one thing that the Eurofiber pads can't do really, and that's really get into the curve of panels. That's honestly my only complaint with the Eurofiber pads and other similar microfiber pads. They're difficult to get into those curves like the top of this panel. Once the weather cools down a little bit, I plan to do a 3-way test video between Ultimate Compound, 3D1, and Turtle Wax One and Done compounds on my truck. I was thinking of doing just a general scratch test, correcting the already terrible panels, a 1500 grit test, and a 2500 grit test, all using the same Eurofiber buff and shine pads, because I have like 7 of them. I'm curious what your thoughts are on such a video, if it's something you'd want to see, or if there are other things you'd like for me to test in the process of making that video. Also, if you like the content I'm putting out, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay up to date on all new content as it comes out. Now that the polishing is done, we're going to go ahead and really make sure we have all of the polish removed this time. So to ensure that we do, after wiping it off with 2 cloths, we're going to come back with our homemade panel prep, a mix of water and isopropyl alcohol. We're just going to simply spray it over the surface, spread it around, and buff the panel, and then inspect it to see how things look. This guarantees it removes any oils or fillers that may have been left behind. So, how do things look? Honestly, pretty good in my book. It's a very easy product to use and is pad dependent for the results that you'll get. It doesn't remove deeper isolated scratches, as we can see as we move down the panel a bit. But if we use a wool pad with 3D1, it likely would remove these deeper scratches. And that's all for this video. I hope that you found it helpful. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.